Hello, everybody. Welcome to Counselor's Couch 101. I am Jim Stump, licensed marriage and family counselor in the state of California. The reason I say that is because as of now, we're only able or allowed to practice professionally in a state that we're licensed in. Can we be licensed in more than one state? Yes, but then we have to go through each state's licensing procedures. So I say licensed in the state of California. People have contacted me and say, "Hey, can you be my counselor? Where are you?" Well, I'm in New Jersey. I say, "Well, okay. Well, we can talk, but I cannot offer you professional counseling services because that's not allowed by law, and I am not credentialed in the state of New Jersey." But I have spoken to people in New Jersey and New England, Texas, Arizona a lot, Nevada, people all over the country. And I would be talking to you as a private citizen. And if you appreciated that and wanted to make a little bit of a donation, that's completely legal and acceptable. But I cannot say that I'm providing professional services, even though the conversation would probably have that element regardless. Anyway, welcome to this particular episode. And I want to look back at something that came up, I think it was about a week ago. We were talking about intrusive parents. And I said, before I tell you what I think of the situation, I'd really like to get your comments and observations. So please leave them below. And a lot of the things I heard and received in various communications was spot on. It's like a lot of this stuff is common sense. You stop and think of the things that affect you in your life and your relationships, and it seems pretty obvious the way we should go in order to accomplish the thing we're attempting to accomplish, right? Common sense. At any rate, basically, people said, "Tell your parents to get out of the way, to butt out." They use various phrases and etc. But get out of my life and stop bothering me. And other people said things like, "It depends on what that relationship with the parents is." And it comes down to that, really. There are many issues involved here. I can't say that we can cover them all just with one idea. We have to look at the particular circumstances of every particular situation and relationship. But a basic one here about intrusive parents is, what kind of support are the parents continuing to offer their children? Now, if you remember, I said I made it up just as an example. I say, let's say we're talking about men and women between the ages of 25 and 29. I didn't want to say 30 because 30 sounds mature and things should have developed by that time in life. So I said 25 to 29 in there. When we're 22, I can understand why parents are concerned, right? And maybe you're still in college and they're helping you out that way. But 25 to 29, people should be moving out on their own and acting independently. And the people I talked to that were having trouble with intrusive parents were continuing to accept support from their parents in various ways. Sometimes, a parent would buy them a car and pay for the insurance. They would pay the rent on their apartment. Um, they would give them money to live on. Various ways that would support them. Maybe the children are coming to the house 5 times a week to eat dinner and get their laundry done and things like that. All that kind of support, and the parents naturally fall into the relationship that they've had with their child for years upon years upon years, right? If I'm cooking for him, well, I have a right to talk to him about what he's doing with his life, right? So the idea is to get away from intrusive parents. We have to establish our individuality, our independence, and that means both emotionally and financially and physically, etc. Right? We can't keep going back and asking for help and then asking them to not interfere in our lives. Sometimes parents will do that. They will understand entirely that they are helping you out, but that doesn't give them carte blanche to tell you what to do with the help that they're offering you, right? Those are enlightened parents, and I appreciate them one and all. Other ones feel like, well, I'm giving you money for your car, so I get to tell you how to live your life. I get to tell you where to drive it and how to drive it, and etc. So, for the younger people, we have to establish independence. That's the first thing, and then at that point, there are still intrusive parents beyond that point. People have taken care of themselves financially, set themselves up in a business or a job or a career, and gone on their way. And parents are still trying to tell them what to do with their lives and their time. Depending on how bad, how egregious the intrusiveness is, people may want to start pulling away in terms of how much time they spend with their parents, how much communication they spend with their parents, right? and the location that they're living in relationship to their parents. I have heard stories of parents who want to move next to the children because they want to see the grandchildren, right? And so if we move away from the parents and the parents move close to you, there's some kind of an issue there that needs to be discussed if it's going to hamper your relationship with your partner in your life and your children, etc. At that point, you have to sit down and discuss it. You may even want to go to a third party counselor. By the way, regarding counseling and third party and all that, it's not that the counselor is going to necessarily know something that the people involved don't know. It's a question of an outside observation and suggestions from someone who's not immediately involved in whatever that emotional conflict is. Sometimes to hear someone else say it is the thing that makes the change occur. So that's an advantage to having an outside observer making suggestions for a situation. Other than that, I've known, well, it's really, really common for folks to escape to college, right? A lot of us did that. We picked a college out of state purposely so we can get away from our parents and start to become our own person. Not so much these days. I'm sure it still happens, but at a previous time, I heard ladies would tell me that they escaped into marriage, right? They'd get married in order to get away from their parents and to cut the ties with the parents who are just driving them crazy. Those marriages often and most likely did not work out, right? They seemed doomed at the beginning because they weren't formed because someone wanted to be with someone. They were formed because someone wanted to escape from someone. So they would do that. That didn't work. Becoming financially independent, establishing your own life. A lot of people, like I say, went away to college. People accept jobs far away from their home of origin, right? In order to get away from parents. People do all sorts of things as opposed to sitting down and talking to the parents. But if the parents can't be talked to, what are you supposed to do? It's a very common, very human thing to do, to put some distance between you and the intrusive person, right? Several people I know talk to their mothers every day, right? Just maybe a short conversation, this or that, but they just sort of check in. And sometimes that can be good, right? I used to be very close to people who were in Massachusetts, and I would call often. I felt connected. I felt that someone understood me and cared about, what was going on in my life, even though we weren't close. And I enjoyed those conversations immensely. Look forward to them. But that is a situation that worked. If someone is intruding upon your personhood and your decision-making processes, and etc., maybe you want to put some distance in between you and that behavior because it's bringing you down. First thing, financial, emotional, and career independence. Establish that, and then see how the parents are responding to that change that you made in your life. If they're still coming towards you, then we need to discuss that. And if you had that experience, please send me an email about it, and we'll look at the particulars. A way to solve some of these problems is to get a good idea of the depth and the aspects of the issue, and then we can come at it by expressing ideas about those points. Oftentimes, that's how we reach something that works, right? But just to say my parents are intrusive, what should I do about it? Well, that doesn't quite give us enough information. So if you've established your independence, are on your own, your parents are still intrusive, let me know how that goes, and we'll bring it here, and we'll get some more ideas from the people who come to this channel and enjoy sharing their experiences. Become independent. If you are relying on your parents for money and support in various ways, you can expect them to want to participate in the decisions you make. Become independent. That's first. And then from there, if you're having more problems, let us know, and we'll see what the next issues are. Right? Thank all of you for participating in that previous episode that we had and the discussion of it. It was beneficial, and I shared a lot of it with people I talked to. And I look forward to your ideas about all the posts that we put up here. So please feel free to make your comments and send the emails. That's counselorscouch101@mail.com. Thanks for dropping by. I look forward to speaking with you next time.